All right, what's going on, everybody? I am the one, the only, the WOOKIE, back with another episode of Flesh and Blood. I'm kidding. It's Keyforge today. I'm kidding. Calm down, sheep. Put the knife down, okay? It's all right. Everything's gonna be all right.
I'm driving to your house right now.
I know you are. There's already somebody at my door. But we got a ton to go over today. We got the usuals. We got the smoke show Drazcore.
Yo,
I'm going to not stop saying that until it sticks.
I feel like I should make a sound effect or something when you say it.
Ooh, I might add that in. Something.
Yeah.
We got Ewok.
Hello, Keyforge community. Great to be here.
And Sheep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Always thrilling. But we got a special guest today. We got Joker. Hi, Joker.
How's it going, fellas?
Well, you know, it's another day, another dollar, another day in paradise, and another day where we're going to talk Keyforge.
The best game on the earth.
Yeah. Anyways, we do have some congratulations we got to put out. We got to congratulate Drazcore and the Horsemen of Hiatus.
Horse people
who are the champions of ABR Season 6. Yay! Congrats, Drazcore. Thank you for bringing legitimacy to this podcast.
Congratulations, Team Drazcore and the Horsemen of Hiatus. It pains me to say that, but way to go, guys. You played really well. It was a lot of fun, actually.
Why does it pain you to say that? I lost my
playmat from the other season. I was on a winning team. I need another one.
I don't know why it pains you to say
You're
that.
gonna get one. Yeah, we had a whole bunch of really good players, a lot of good chatter in the Discord, a lot of strategizing and practicing and stuff, and it went really well. So I'll just quickly rattle off the great members of the team. We had Anxious Pirate, Dazyog, Disthis, Drazcore, Dr. Sheep, Emperor Riku, Lokar, Billy No One, Thide, Arkellis, Growner, and I had to draft X-Ray, so, you know. But somebody's got to be drafted last. X-Ray.
Heard
right?
rumors you got paid to draft X-Ray.
Yeah. They were like, "We give you $10."
Just take them, please.
Yeah.
Anybody, just please take X-Ray. It's all right.
Great,
we
great
love
team.
you, X-Ray. I mean, some of us, not all of us, but some. At least 50% of the show. But anyways, welcome to Weird Dead Silence. Joker, you have a little ditty coming up, but why don't you start out by telling us a little bit about you?
Well, first I have a quick question. If Drazcore is the smoke show, does that make JR like Killer Cross? Like, is that what we're going with?
Only some will understand that reference.
I'm Googling this reference right now.
It's a wrestling reference, and you've just angered Dan.
Oh, with a K.
Yeah.
I have your address too, sir.
Yeah, he does. The success.
Okay. Yes. Yes and yes, and I'm pretty sure the only other one who's going to understand that reference is Rickster. But anyways.
We'll go with it. Yeah, my name's Joel, aka Joker41, and longtime Keyforge player, played since about the beginning of the game. And just excited to come on here and talk about kind of the project I've had in the works for a little while. Finally decided to put it together in the new year when I got some time. And yeah, played the game forever, really. Play with the AC guys here all the time. Love the channel, love Sheep, love Lokar, love everybody. Just love everywhere. Love.
It is February, so it is a time of love.
'Tis the season.
Joker, where do you call home? Do you have a play group that is still meeting outside of the pandemic? Are you just primarily playing with the AC group on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Sundays?
I live in the Seattle area, a little further north of there, but basically the Seattle area. And I usually play in a city called Linwood at Around the Table, and usually we have Sunday alternating formats. The last one was a Dark Tidings kind of league format. This one was MM that we're currently in. And yeah, Keyforge still going strong in the area. A lot of our guys are actually embedded in the community, whether or not you know it or not. One of the guys is one of the programmers for TCO implementation, and wrote the library access attachment if you use that on your phones for iPhone. Just a lot of really smart people I play Keyforge with. I'm surprised I'm able to at least stand a chance.
You're
I will
a
say-
good
Awesome to
player.
have that local community. Yeah.
Yeah, even in lockdown and living in a pretty restrictive area / state. We still got between like 8 to 12 players a week, which is fantastic.
Yeah, that's great.
That's really good. You're listening to almost all the players in our local, so at
Wait,
least
there's players in our
50%.
local? Because I haven't seen none of you guys at an event in a year.
We have one place to play events. That's at least 45 minutes for me, meaning it's at least, an hour and a half for Ewok?
It's probably closer to about 50 to an hour. I just happen to have multiple events that are on that Monday, so it
These are
happens.
sacrifices I'm willing to make on your guys' part.
Yep.
I know.
Just drive.
Yep, just drive.
But-
if you want to come
but
pick me
Joker-
up, I'll go.
But Joker, we have you here today because you made a big announcement a little bit ago about some Vault Keepers, so some competitive Keyforge, and you have a big event that you want to put together. So tell us a little bit about what is Vault Keepers.
Vault Keepers. So I wanted to, for the longest time, come up with a way to run an online Vault Warrior event, which was kind of the cache format that was invented for Keyforge by FFG that unfortunately was timed just about time for the pandemic, so we never actually got to play it. And that was, pre-MM. I think it was like right in between MM and Worlds Collide. It was like right in that time window. And
I'm pretty sure AOA was still going to be legal for when they had planned to start doing Vault Warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the last 3 expansions, so that makes
Right.
sense. So I kind of just said heck with it. I don't really know the most about online playing or organizing, setting things up. I'm not the most computer literate, but thankfully we're in a community of really, really great people who offered to help me out, including Dr. Sheep. So thank you for that, Mr. Sheep. And
He's a good guy, even if he doesn't want anybody to know.
he is a good guy, even though he plays a cranky person on TV here. That's what he does. So my general concept with it was to implement Vault Warrior and to figure out a way to make it accessible for everybody, because I feel like it's a great format, and competitive Keyforge from a tournament perspective online isn't really much of a thing kind of recently, unfortunately. Jupiter and KFPL and that whole thing unfortunately is not a thing anymore. Karen will be taking over KFPL shortly, but like the monthly events that we were all used to playing there for a long time haven't been running and haven't been happening since Jupiter unfortunately left the community. So I'm like, how do I get a big event, get people excited about it, and what format am I going to use? And I'm like, you know what? This coincides with my desire to run a Vault Warrior style event, and that's how it was kind of born.
Awesome. Well, I know there's a lot of people excited. A lot of people here excited. I see a lot of people joining the Discord, and a lot of people interested in this thing that you've put together.
Yeah, 225 people in the Discord, and like
that. Oh, you're up to that many now. Wow, I didn't even look.
Yeah.
At Wow, okay, nice.
Like 25-ish signed up. So I mean, that's 25 people signed up when we have 2.5 weeks until the event is actually a huge amount of people, because most people register at the last minute for everything. Like
I will. Don't worry. Last minute I'll register.
we're all gamers. Like we'll all wait till the last minute to do just about anything, and some of us are plan ahead people, but for the most part, if you're like me, you're not really. But yeah, like this thing could get huge, and I'm excited for it.
Well, I think that you have it set up correctly. I think that it's great. Just for anyone who's kind of interested, let's go ahead and plug in the days. So this is going to be a 3-day event from my understanding. You're looking at a max of 6 rounds per day. And with the numbers of people who are interested, I'm really hopeful that this is going to be a Vault Tour-esque event. The first day is Saturday, February 19th. And if I am correct, you have it set up at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So yeah. I put that in for anyone kind of GMT. It's GMT minus 800. So minus 8 will give you where you are. And Joker, I know a couple people who are, overseas in Europe or in Asia, and they were showing interest, but they're like, the time. But I think that it's really important right here at this point that you also talk about your profession, and for your job, you would normally be working what hours, just to give everyone an idea?
I work nights, working on aircraft, and I normally work from 10:30 p.m. until 6 a.m. So this is happening in the middle of my night as well. I'm usually in bed at roughly the time this will start.
So, I mean, you're sacrificing yourself not only to put up some amazing prize supports and to create the event, but also time and effort. And I've seen you on posting to everyone, kind of waving and acknowledging everyone. So I really appreciate all the effort that's gone into this. So first event, Saturday, February 19th. And this is DT Archon. And then yes. the second day is going to be Sunday, February 20th. And this is going to be DT and MM. So you'll provide 2 decks. One of them will be striked. And then you're going to go ahead and play a game that is there. And again, that's starting at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then the third day, if you make finals, is going to go ahead and be Saturday, February 26th. So that's a week after the first event takes place. So I thought that, you spread it out really well. You've gone and bent over backwards for all, or as many people as can play as possible, and I appreciate that. Talk about how you came up with this idea for DT Archon and then the DT and MM kind of as a deck elimination.
So the Vault Warrior format officially is roughly what we set up here. Usually it would be a 3-day in a row event like a Vault Tour or any big gaming convention, but I don't know anybody who can take 3 days off in a row to set up and play in one of these things. Usually back in the day when we all went to gaming cons, it was different. So I had to stretch it out in between 2 weekends to make it work. But the format of Vault Warrior has you use the latest set in Archon on the first day of qualifying. And when I say first day of qualifying, it's not you have to win the day or go undefeated in the set number of rounds on that first day in order to qualify, and then you don't have to play the second day. You are required to play both days, and you're required to have a combined record between those 2 days. FFG never stated what that combined record was. I wanted to make the ceiling really low for it, and I made it number of rounds on day 1 plus 1. So if it's going to be 6 rounds each day, you have to go essentially 7 and 5 between the 2 days in order to qualify for day 3. If we have, say, 100 players, that still gives us like 40-some players who will qualify just based on basic statistics for day 3. But that was kind of the general thought, is to stick with that. You have to participate in both. And that does 2 things. It makes hyper-competitive players, gives them a little bit of a break, because if they go like 6-0 on day 1 and they just show up on day 2 and want to win a game and then drop, you're not stopping anybody else from qualifying. There is no tiebreakers. So if you want to do that, it's perfectly acceptable to do it. And conversely, if you are not a very competitive player and you don't have a really big collection, you can go, say, 3-3 on the first day, and then if you go 4-2 on the next day, you still qualify. And even if you go 0-6 or 1-5, well, 0-6 you're out. But even if you go 1-5 and you play day 2 and you go 6-0, then you're in. So you don't have to have the greatest collection in the world. You just have to collect that number of wins. And in this type of format, tiebreakers are just really not going to matter because it just comes down to straight number of wins. And unfortunately, if you don't qualify, you don't qualify. But hopefully, you had a great Keyforge experience, and it's a great game to play. Obviously, multiple days in a row, especially when there's the elimination format on day 2. Vault Warrior typically will use, at least from, again, going off the FFG document, day 2 would normally be 2 decks of the previous 2 expansions. So that would have been Mass Mutations and Worlds Collide. I decided to ease up on that to make the ceiling for people entering, because this is going to be the first of these, and I plan to run more. But is to just lower the entrance ceiling for this and make it as accessible as possible. Because day 3, I anticipate there's going to be a lot of more competitive players. But if you can play the same deck on day 1 and day 2 for your DT, and then your MM can be whatever you want to throw in there, it'll just make it that much more accessible. You can get more players in there. Yeah, that was the general thought. The next ones will be, if there's enough community interest, will be the same format, only on day 2 I will switch it over to the Worlds Collide and the MM on day 2. So you get all 3 sets represented.
It's pretty awesome. I'm excited about this format. Like DT, Archon, people coming trying to win big. Like I don't know that I have any amazing, like absolutely bonkers DT deck or anything like that. But I probably don't. You're right.
You don't.
But I'm real excited because I've got some fun ones, and I'm excited to see what people bring and what happens there. It's I don't know. That one in particular has me excited.
I think the combination of DT and then DT and MN makes this a really unique setup. I think that being able to strike created a little bit of deck choice in how those 2 sets play together, especially if you're thinking about it for the final day. This is a competitive Keyforge podcast, so that's where we're going to go ahead and look. And I'll give a big shout out to Karen Brown. I know that this past weekend, the Swindle events, there is a Swindle event that was held that kind of ran a mock piece, and this was the DT and MM. And we were able to play. I know, Joker, you played. I was also able to get a couple reps in, and I thought some of the deck choices were interesting. They made you think a little bit. And I will say, Drazgor, for me, there were times that I actually did go ahead and strike the DT deck and wanted to go ahead and have my deck that was going to be chosen to face off against MM. And I think that's an important piece. So it's a really interesting format, and it'll make you think a little bit about what deck you're bringing. You also, when you're saying, I don't have the deck, don't be so scared about that. I think that some people... So Joker, once Vault Keepers was posted online, I saw a number of people, hey, what do you have for the top DT decks that were there? I think that you really got to know the cards for DT, and there's a lot that has not gone into SAS in regards to DT. So there's a lot of decks that may not qualify as that top setup that can frankly still hold its own. I know that my simple 75 that was there, which is a very, very solid deck for DT, was able to take down an 87. So it comes to matchups in this game and being able to think through the game. And that person who was running the 87 they're a top Keyforge player that is well known. So these are good players that we're playing, but think through your decks, think through your deck choices, and realize that if you don't have something that has a high SAS, that's fine. There's a lot of great DT decks out there that will hold their own.
Yeah, the interset compatibility between DT and MM is going to make this fascinating because MM, as we all know, doesn't have nearly the amount of scaling amber control that the previous sets had, and it doesn't even have as much as DT has. So you're going to be facing a lot of speed and a lot of rush out of Dark Tidings, and MM is potentially not going to have time to set up like they want to set up, put out all their artifacts, make things, easy, set the table for them to go and have their banquet on the opposing deck here. They may be down 2 keys to nothing by the time everything that they want to get in place is in place, and by then it might just be too late. Top end DT is extremely fast, extremely fast. Like the highest raw amber per average deck we've seen in this game so far, on average, like I said. So it is a really interesting matchup, and having played in that particular format, my Dark Tidings got banned, I want to say twice, maybe even 3 times. And they were both the same SAS level, and they both rushed, but they both rushed differently. And I feel like that was a different, kind of a different look, and it sets up really interesting matchups, in my opinion.
All right, so how do I get involved in this? Where do I go? If I want to sign up, what do I do?
You can come and find me on Discord. I am Joelker41, Joelker 41. I am on like every possible Keyforge server you can think of. If you need a link to the Discord, you can message me directly. You can also hit me up via email at joelker41@gmail.com. Just come and find me. I'll get you in there. The spreadsheets are always active and running. I work, like I said, nights. So if you message me at an odd hour, I'm probably still up and can answer questions pretty quickly. So yeah, hit me up. Come find me. Get you in the Discord. Come read the very long introductory posts that I got that surprisingly no one has had that many questions about. Yeah, and get in here,
And that Discord area is where you're going to see the signups posted. So what's the cost? So I want to be able to play. I'm interested. I got my decks chosen. I now have found you, or you can also go check out any of the AC guys here. We'll get you in and connected with Joker. But how do I go ahead and what do I got to do? I got to pay you? What's happening there?
You have to fill out a Google sheet that tells me what decks you're playing. That's it. There is no cost of entry other than your time for this event.
I thought you'd say AOA is the best set like 10 times in a row or something.
I kind of want to make Wookie write that on a chalkboard at some point, but he won't do it, so it's fine.
No, I wanted to.
If the price is right.
I wanted to be able to highlight that, Joker. You've put your own time and efforts, and there's so much organization and planning that goes behind the scenes. You also won't be able to play in the event, and so for it to be free is amazing. And because we talked about competitive Keyforge, you wanted to go ahead and follow this after, you're naming it Vault Keepers. So this is for Vault Warrior. Is there any prizes that might entice those who are prize driven?
Yeah. Fun fact, I have had a top 10 collection in this game as far as number of decks, according to DOK, for the better part of 3 years now, which is a personal problem because I spend entirely too much money on this game. But over the years, I have run a DOK store and have sold a lot of decks. I've also bought a lot of decks. But my question to myself was, what do I do with all of this money that I've made off of DOK sales over the years? So there will be real dollar prize support for the top 8 in this event. And again, it's free to enter, and you are basically taking all the money I've made off of my DOK sales over the years and taking it home with you. So I am taking the money that I have made off of reselling what I've opened and investing it back into the community as prize support.
It's extremely generous. I know that we ran Keyforge Live and we had prize money that we'd put up, but this is all your own cash. And so it is extremely generous. To be 100% transparent, first place, there's $300. Second place, $200. Third and fourth are each walking away with $100. And then fifth through eighth will each walk away with $50. So Just like we said for Keyforge Live, anyone participating here that finishes in the top 8, you're going to make more money than anyone has earned from participating in Vault Tours.
Yep.
So but thank you for keeping competitive Keyforge alive, providing a space for people to have fun and to be able to think in a different way, and it's going to be a great event. So I really appreciate that. But those who are looking, this is going to be a phenomenal event. Free to sign up. Just go to the Discord, simple, easy Google Sheets, and then make sure that you have your deck submitted. So Saturday and Sunday, the 19th and 20th of February, 2022, and then the following Saturday, if you finish basically whatever the rounds plus 1. So if it's 6 rounds for a day, then it should be 7 rounds. That's awesome.
That's pretty awesome. Like just what you're giving to the community, right? And I think it's going to really help the event too. I would have come and had a good time at an event that had no cash prize, but like it is going to attract more people, and it's going to get, I don't know, it's going to really rev up the excitement. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So I thank you, Joker. I think that's really awesome of you.
You are most certainly welcome.
I know that you already addressed how will tiebreakers be handled as this competitive. Basically, what is our going to time? Because I know that's another question that has popped up and people, on the podcast or in the forums have talked about. So just want to be super transparent.
I'm not making it weird or any special house rules or whatever. Just what, the regular old going to time rules, as much as we may have issue with it or be fine with it, whatever side of the fence you're on, we're just going to do the normal go to time rules. I don't want to try and house rule anything. I want this to be as we believe FFG intended this to be, as a competitive event.
Yeah, no, I think that it's great. It follows with what we see for Vault Warrior, and it'll be very exciting. Sheep, what are your thoughts on this? You've been really quiet.
Well, I mean, there's better chances for everybody else because Joker has drafted me in to help run the event on day of. So I can't kick all your teeth in, which makes me sad.
What has he got you doing?
I'll be helping with judging, dealing with those time calls, rules questions, those sorts of things.
Yeah, I have played the game, like I said, since day one, and I know, if you had to grill me on basic rules, I think I would know most of them, but there aren't many people in the community who will know more about the rules than Sheep, so I am graciously thankful to Sheep for being willing to help me out and make sure everything's on the up and up, because the last thing I'd want to do is mess up something that, in addition to dealing with all the admin and behind the scenes work.
Yes, I'm very unbiased in this and just happy to help give away Joker's money. So
should we start saying Your Honor to Dr. Sheep, Your Honor?
I'm almost thinking of joining to see if I could place to then go take that money and then film myself using it to buy Flesh and Blood just to piss off Sheep.
Flesh and Blood, there's cheap AOA in this world again. Life is good.
No, there's nothing. Why do you do yourself like that, Sheep?
You know how
You're better
depressing
than
this is right now that I've run out of AOA and I've had to go to play a different set? It's sad.
It's not. It's really not.
That's the other reason I signed up to help Joker run this, because he won't let me play AOA in it, and I'm just sad.
I will trade you the AOA for your DT. I enjoy playing DT. I know a couple people have voiced, DT isn't necessarily their set, but I think that the game designers have offered quite a bit of fun with this set. You just have to think through a little bit differently, and I'm really curious to see what decks come out here from the overall meta, from the top competitive decks. I think that Karen's the Swindle mini vault tour that happened, or the mini vault keepers, it was fun to be able to see what decks kind of went up and what decks kind of dropped as the day ended up going.
And I just want to say for the record, I know I'm kind of a rookie at running these kind of events and organizing things, but Karen is not, and Karen is a treasure of the Keyforge community, and I highly recommend supporting Swindle and everything that they do. She does all this on her own, on her free time, doesn't get paid for it, doesn't charge entry fee to any of her events, and she's helped me completely pro bono with like every question I've had. You know, please, consider supporting her on Patreon. I don't want to sit here and turn this into a commercial, but I'm not asking for any money. I have no sponsors. Nobody's done anything to help me do this financially, but the sheer amount of hours that she pours in on a weekly basis is flabbergasting, because she runs leagues, tournaments, and all this other stuff. And again, there is no entry. There's nothing going back to her. So, if you have time and you're hearing this and you've been a part of her events, please just send her a message, at least just say thank you, because she's done so much and is taking over a lot and has a lot on her plate. And I think just as a community, we need to recognize the people that are helping us, and she's definitely done a fantastic job at it.
Yeah, for sure, because this is now a game that is completely supported by community-run events, and it's people like Joker and Karen that step up to run these events that are keeping interest and a lot of life in this game. And hopefully it'll get us through this hiatus and we get to see some company dollars coming back at us. But until then, it's awesome that we got people like you, Joker, willing to step up and run events for us to play in.
It's my pleasure. I've been a competitive gaming junkie basically for close to 25 years. Gosh, I'm old. But yeah, like not having a competitive outlet for a game, I understand that itch, and I understand when it's not there. And a lot of people will turn elsewhere, look at other things, do other things, and kind of just chase that competition. And it's fully my intent to keep Keyforge competitive and keep the lights on, at least through these events, and just help in any way I can, because this is a great game with great people, and I just want to see it succeed.
All right, I'm going to also add in, I know that we hit Karen, yes, thank you. Sheep, Lokacar, thank you as well. Thank you, ABR. I know there's many other leagues that are out there. Thank you to all of our content producers. My other question that I had is, Joker, what are you really hoping to see come from this event? So you finished all 3 days, and what are you hoping to see at the very end?
Well, my intent is to keep these things going, and have probably variable formats, maybe rotate the sets, and depending on the level of interest and the level of people who are willing to stay involved. Obviously, it's not sustainable for me to shell out basically $1,000 of my own money every time I want to do this, but I want to keep the accessibility high, and if we get crazy ridiculous numbers like over 100 people or something like that, I think it's entirely possible that I could run these more often and just keep it sustainable. Like my intent was to keep it for free for the first one, at least, to try and keep that ceiling low and get everybody in here, get them a taste of competitive Keyforge, give them what FFG unfortunately wasn't able to provide us, and just see where we go from there. It's like, we don't even necessarily have to stick to the Vault Warrior format, but let's see where we go from here, because I'm excited to try it. I'm excited to get in here, get the community kind of organized, get people playing competitively, because we need it. There's those of us, like I said, who have the itch to do it, and I think this is going to scratch that itch for a lot of people, which was the intent.
Yeah. I'm excited to have my itch scratched here. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Now you did mention your DOK store, and I know you aren't really promoting that per se so much, but I did go out and I went and checked out a whole bunch of decks and whatnot, and I picked up a bunch from Joker. I wanted to help fund stuff. I wanted to get some decks that would be fun to play, and I encourage other folks to go out. He's got a lot of decks out there. There's other good stuff. I didn't get every single good deck out there, so there's he does have an extremely large collection. So there's probably something you're interested in out there.
There are almost 2,000 decks on my DOK store. I changed the name.
1921.
Yeah.
Wow.
I changed the name of the store to be not my name and just straight Vault Keepers, so it's clear what's happening with it. And again, any money I make off of that store will go into future Vault Keeper events. I do not want to take any money away other than paying for shipping, because good Lord, especially international shipping right now is insane. But any and all proceeds that come from my DOK store from here on out will go towards funding these events and keeping this going. I can be a degenerate and spend money all day on stupid crap. I don't need more decks personally. I don't need a bigger collection. I have, as has already been stated by me and others, way too many decks. So I am happy to reinvest that in the community, get you something that you may want. I've got plenty of weird, strange, even competitive decks in there, all SAS ranges, all sets. Hit me up if you want something. And, like I said, I'm not keeping any money of it past just recouping shipping.
Have you seen an uptick in people jumping in and buying stuff out of the store, or you're just getting a good level?
In the week and a half that I've posted, I think I've sold to 4 or 5 different individuals, which is not too bad. We went through a little bit of a dead spell there through the holidays, which is pretty normal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've definitely had an uptick in offers, an uptick in activity since I announced this, and
Cool.
Put the little description on DOK on the store of what exactly this was going towards, so it wasn't meant to I'm not meant to price gouge anybody. I'm not trying to make any money off of it. Any money that you give me for the decks that I have sitting in my house goes directly back into the community.
Mm-hmm.
We always talk about those extra decks and what we can do as competitive Keyforge players. So here's a great opportunity again to make a difference for the community. I know that, Draz, you said you're going to try. I have it tentatively blocked off with the family. Anything is very possible, but right now I have blocked off both of those weekends, and I'm super excited. I did go ahead and practice. I've seen a few more people practicing DT on the TCO as well, so I'm excited to be able to see what's there. I know, Sheep, you're running the event and helping out. Wookie, are you able to actually come and play some Keyforge with us, or?
It's possible.
Oh, so this is even possible. You can see some of the AC regs here.
I don't really like the idea of all this DT.
What about the
new cards?
What about the possibility of money?
The only reason the possibility of money. Okay, the only reason I'd want it is to make sheep cry.
Okay.
So maybe.
It would bring some legitimacy to this podcast that you've been hosting for a while.
Listen, that's why I brought Drazcor on. Okay, I don't got time for legitimacy. That's why Drazcor's here.
Oh,
before that we had what's his name?
Yeah, what's his name?
Yeah, that guy.
Somebody.
You've already forgotten our Z, our beloved
Z. Yeah,
medium Y, right?
No, I didn't forget him. That was you ruined everything.
We love him, we miss him, but that's part of what's happened. Where some people really miss our in-person play, and so that's why we're hoping this pandemic can get better.
I do miss the in-person play. No joke, Keyforge Live got me reinvigorated in playing Keyforge again. Right? It's still I do like coming online and playing from time to time. It's still not the same. I don't know. Even with I get the microphones and whatnot and being able to talk, that's nice, but it's just not the same. I don't know. I'm still a little depressed about it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I mean,
Still a little
Joker
depressed.
here has multiple 70-plus DT decks for sale.
The only problem
Right now.
with the 19th and 20th, there's a little something that happens that weekend that I don't know if I'll be able to maybe commit yet.
It's okay if it ends up that you're able to. We'd
There's a
love
little
to be
something that happens that weekend. Just saying. Just
Sounds like
saying.
there's some
Is it-
flash and plan
No.
boredom going on.
Nope, it has nothing to do with card games whatsoever.
Is it a race?
Is it I mean, I don't know, to death maybe.
No.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, I've heard that's the weekend for like Daytona or Indianapolis.
No, it's my
one of those.
It's my birthday weekend.
Oh well,
That means you just get to declare that you're playing Keyforge.
You and I both know that's not how that works. So actually, I should say me and Ewok both know that's not exactly how that always works.
Tell you what, if you show up, we will sing "Happy Birthday" to you in the tournament announcement channel.
Nice.
In the tournament announcements channel, is this promised? Like 100%. I get Sheep, Ewok, and Drazcor to sing me happy birthday.
Whoever shows up will
Whoever shows up.
sing you "Happy Birthday."
Is this like the gathering of the people at Applebee's or what is that other place? Chili's, where they're like,
Texas
I need
Roadhouse.
singers.
We'll give
I
you a
need
Texas
singers."
Roadhouse country
There you go.
singing.
There you
Ooh,
go.
I like that. And only I am allowed to play MM for the entire tournament.
No.
No.
No?
No.
Oh.
Nope. Not there. But I don't know. I think there's some great options. I'm really excited to be able to play. Since Sheep, you can't play. What do we think about some of the potential, meta that we might see? Have you guys heard any chatter about DT decks or what you're particularly envisioning here? Or should we just leave that for after the event?
I mean, like in the DT land, I still see. I mean, like the combo of cards that comes in Logos. What's his name? Rooftop.
Rooftop Laboratory. Yep.
That's good. Hing's Gross decks get a lot of traction and interest. I haven't had any practice with them myself.
I faced
they
a
can
double.
do a lot, and then Untamed Burst is for reals.
Mm-hmm. I actually faced a double Hing's Gross deck, and that was pretty ridiculous to be able to go up against. There was a lot of DT Rush from Untamed.
But that's go back and listen to the last episode where Lokacar talks a little bit about what houses really made DT decks work in sealed, which is sealed and doesn't necessarily translate, but
it kind of does in DT.
It would be interesting. It will be interesting to see what DT decks come out, but if any evil twin stuff actually works. Because we all have thought, and I did have to play against, in some tournament, a pretty nasty evil twin Shadows deck with multiple of the 2-steel guy.
Sea Urchins.
Multiple good Sea Urchins, and it was rough.
Without going into detail, Joker, I'm pretty sure that Lady Aurora's deck was a DT Evil Twin deck, and I'm fairly certain that Karen Brown's DT deck was also an Evil Twin deck.
You are correct.
Yes, and if I am correct, out of the 14 of us, you're basically looking at yourself, myself, and Karen and Lady Aurora, and as the top 4 decks. So it was very interesting to see 2 of those being Evil Twins.
Can I play AOA?
No.
No? That's not allowed.
And Joker, you ended up finishing...
I ended up finishing second.
You finished second, and who was first in that?
Karen.
Yeah.
So
Karen's...
the 2 event organizers took first.
Rigged. Rigged. It's rigged.
No, that means they can't play. But I think that was very, very interesting. It was well run. It was fun, and
doesn't mean they can't pass those decks off. It's rigged. Calling it right here.
I mean, they could be yours. You could get one.
Be yours for a small fee of $1 million.
I don't want to give away the specific tech, but
yeah, don't.
My DT, or the only loss I had in the event was with my DT deck against Karen's DT deck, and it was by like 1 amber. So DT is real on that second day, and just because of the jank you can throw at people, and there is some real jank in Dark Tidings.
Yes.
Yeah, it is under plumbed set for real high end play because there hasn't been a lot of real high end play availability with it, and to some extent, and the truth is on decks of Keyforge and Nova hasn't been that interested in playing with it, so the SAS score hasn't developed well. So even as we were talking about this next Swindle thing, which has SAS cap of 60, for a Triad, you got to build a Triad of sub 60 decks, and I really think Dark Tidings is where all the heat's going to come from, because it's not well represented.
And you'd be wrong.
I almost went with 3 DT decks for my 60 and unders, because like the dumbness of DT at that SAS level.
Yeah, you can get like 35 plus expected amber decks at that SAS level fairly easily, and they're probably underrated for their expected amber. Some of the expected amber is just so silly. So many space dollars to be had.
Yeah.
I gotta build my lineup after this podcast. We stop recording. We gotta submit tomorrow.
What?
Nope. Crummy, I gotta come up with one too then.
Yeah, you do, sir.
Oh, I don't know if we said it for day 3, but day 3 of the Vault Keepers or of the Vault Warrior event itself, you can play, or it'll be solo Archon, single elimination, and you can play any of the up to 3 decks that you played in the previous 2 days of the event. You do not have to play the same DT deck on day 1, on day 2, if that makes sense. You can play up to 3 different decks at that point, and then you just pick one. That's your only deck, and then it'll be the finish.
I can't play. I gave
3.
away all my DT decks. I don't have any.
I'll open you a fresh one just for it.
Just a fresh.
Is that actually in? Is that in the box that you gave to me?
Yeah, all the DT's in there.
I have a new task, boys and girls, that I'm going to be going ahead and doing.
I mean, hey, you got some smoke. I ain't gonna lie. There's a couple of smokes. There's some smoke in there. I mean,
He gave you some
I thought that was just Drazgor.
No, he's the smoke show. It's different. Like, you got some smoke. There's the chaos that counterfeits Evil's twins. That's got some double sea urchins with that little Chelonia action. Is it double Chelonia? I don't even know. Persistent hunting shenanigans. It's out of all the decks, I think that's that one might be the smoke. I'm pretty sure that one's in there somewhere.
I'm hearing some spice happening right now.
And then somewhere in there's a 75 SAS dud. It just trips over itself, kind of.
Well, that happens sometimes. Yes,
just can't get out of its own way. It does have double deep water Gruen with some evil Witch of the Dawns.
My favorite DT deck to play is only a 68, but it also has 26 printed amber. So
it's printed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like that set gets out of hand quick.
I'm trying to look at all the decks that are now JRs and what deck's going to have the most printed ember. Because I actually bought a sizable amount of DT because I had high hopes for that set. And much like AOA, it just let me down. Let's see. Let's go look up at some expected ember for DT, right? So what should I put the minimum at? Like 25? Does that sound good? 25?
You're crazy. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Are you saying expected amber?
Yeah.
Expected? Yeah.
Oh, no. Let's go printed ember. How do I go printed? Which one's printed? Printed is bonus ember. That's right.
Yep.
It's got its own fancy special name, and on decks of Keyforge. Oh no, 25 too much for what I pulled.
While Wookie is going ahead and looking, I think that what Sheep said earlier, you definitely want to keep an eye on. I will say that Unfathomable has some really nice control pieces, and while we saw a lot of early rush for Coda,
Unfathomable is awesome.
You just have to have it focused, and so that's where if you're going to be playing
90% of decks have a little ADHD syndrome. They're like
90% of all decks in Keyforge are just kind of wish-washy garbo.
But I'm saying, like, early on, we saw a lot of Coda Rush, and we miss Control of the Week coming from Dis and what Dis has for control. Don't undersell your Unfathomable. I will just leave that out. There's a lot of control that can come in. I think also some of the decks, it was very interesting to see how many decks had the ability to turn the tide and how that impacted the game.
Nobody heard me on the actual recording for that because I had myself muted. Unfortunately, I didn't know. But there's not a ton of scaling Ember control in either DT or MM. So have at it.
I would argue that when I went ahead and faced Lady Aurora, I had pushed to 15 Amber on what I thought was going to be the final turn, and she played a beautiful library card turn, and I was left under that. So
wait, hold on. Is Infernus in MM?
No.
Yes, Infernus is in MM.
Oh, in MM, yeah. Sorry, I thought you said DT. No,
I know Infernus wasn't in DT.
Yeah.
There's no
No Dis. Yeah.
no Dis. But
and the kicker on that, when I was dropped from 15, played Submersive Principle, but she only played it for 1 against me. So think about that. You drop me by 15, and you just use the Submersive to drop both of us by 1. Like, that's where you're really looking at usually it being half. And so there are some combos that are out there. There's some movement, and there's some speed.
I'm telling you, JR, the deck you're looking for, Chaos, the counterfeits, Evil Twin.
Okay.
Double Submersive Principle. Double.
I'm going to be honest. I think that a big piece that needs to be kept in mind is how much time can you go ahead and impact the time?
You guys keep just thinking about throwing their Amber away. Just make enough and win faster.
Well, but that's it. So there is Amber Rush, but look at what you have for Tide, for Manipulates the Tide. Is it creatures that can reuse it over and over? Is it individual cards? Is there a deck that you want to be able to actually wait? I know when we were playing Sealed, JM went ahead and said, "Oh man, I took the Tide too soon." He was playing DT, I was playing MM. That has an impact too. So in DT versus DT, it plays differently than DT against MM.
Well, let's be honest. Day 2 is going to be dominated by Mass Mutation.
It would be if your opponent couldn't ban it, but your opponent can ban it. Day 2.
I'm looking at my notes here.
You're saying day 3.
Oh, is that day 3?
You're saying the finals.
So you put Sunday, February 20th.
Closes at
DT and MM 2-deck elimination. That's what you put down here.
Yeah. So you'll bring 1 DT, you'll bring 1 MM. I'm going to strike your deck by looking at both. I'm going to ban 1. So I could just ban your MM, and then I'm going to be facing your DT.
It's not a true elimination.
No.
They called it.
Understood.
Yeah, they called it deck elimination instead of survival or something else.
Oh, well, then, DT's going to win because all MM's going to get squashed.
But for the finals, you then get to choose one of the 2 or 3 decks that you bring. So if you bring a different deck for DT on day 1 versus day 2, then you have 3 decks to choose from.
Right.
Otherwise, you have 1.
Yeah. And
then your MM.
And that's where MM will dominate. It's going to dunk on it.
We will see.
It's going to dunk on it. Like Michael Jordan on a high schooler. It's going to dunk on it. Dunk.
The end of the month, we'll be able to see.
I sense a bet coming on.
Oh, there's a bet.
All right.
Yeah. I was going to say, how many over under on how many DT decks will make top 8?
There you go.
Over under? What's the over under?
You provide it, then the other person gets to choose.
Yeah, I'll put it at 3.5.
3.5. I'd take the under.
Sheep, Draz.
Oh,
I'm on the over. Just because Wookie's wrong, he doesn't know what he's
Draz.
over there trying to equip something or another.
Yep, equip, because that's the wrong game still, but it's okay. I haven't played Magic in years, but that's cool.
I think it's going to be. I think there's going to be 2 or 3 DT in in the top 8. So I think I guess that's under.
Yeah, you're taking.
I'm going under. I think that I agree with Wookie, even though I don't want to say that.
What? So you
I
just give
think
me
with the
shit
two-
and then you agree with me? What the
Oh, yeah.
hell?
Yeah, well, I think that in competitive, however, I do think that there are some really nice matchups, and so we need to make sure that we get those matchups in. But to push that you're going to go above 4, just gets really, really, really wonky. It just does. With the pips, it can get
Have you guys
crazy.
ever watched Casino, the movie Casino?
No.
Yes.
Anybody? You've never seen Casino, Draskar?
No, have not.
Sheep, you ever seen Casino?
Nope.
Do you guys even watch movies?
Dude, I'm playing Keyforge.
Okay,
Yeah.
anyways.
Oh, there's
So
truth to that.
There's the scene at the end of the movie. And you can go onto your Google YouTube machine. And there's a scene at the end of Casino with Joe Pesci. Just go to YouTube end of Casino Joe Pesci and see what happens. And I fully believe that's what MM's going to do to
YouTube?
DT. What's YouTube? Oh Lord. I can't help you with that at all. Not even a little bit.
All right, we have digressed. Let's go to closing thoughts.
All
Who wants
right.
to start us off?
Draskor does.
Well, I'm excited for this event. I'm excited to participate. I don't know what I'm going to bring yet. I've been looking through my my DT stuff. I did poke around a little bit to see if there was something I wanted to buy. But I'm probably going to go with one of the ones that I have that I like, and they are. I think they're like low 70s. Most of the ones that I have that I'm like, this feels. I don't know if it's amazing, but it feels relatively good. So we'll see. I'm excited. I'm excited for it.
Sheep.
I'm excited for me to be right and Dark Tidings to win everything.
I mean, I can see it. I can see Dark Tidings winning it all. I can also seeing a very, very high focus for MM in that day 3. But again, that's where we're going to see. And I think that because Worlds Collide, AOA, and Coda are all gone, I think, Joker, your setup with these two sets, DT and MM, really is going to kind of impact the meta. And I do think that DT can hold its own. It's just a matter of, do all of our top players agree with that? And do they think that they have a deck that's going to be able to take down some of these beasts that are MM? So
I think there's a lot of players who think it's going to be able to hold its own. Remember when AOA first came out? And
Yes.
everyone thought it could hold its own? And then it
I would like to point out AOA holds its own often in our sealed events.
sealed.
yeah, so it is Archon. It will be interesting. We're going to find out on February 19th, 20th to 26th. So that'll be the 26th.
Tell you what, Sheep. You win, I will buy you a box of that cheap AOA you want.
Well, he's not. He's judging.
I already bought a case of it.
No. We didn't over. You already bought a case of it. Jeez.
I bought 2.
Damn it!
How many is in a case?
12 boxes.
12 boxes in a case?
Yeah.
No, I was saying if his so he took the over, I took the under, right? So
Okay.
if sheep wins and it's over 3.5 decks, I will buy you a box, just one. I'm not fueling your addiction, of AOA.
Like it.
There we go.
All right.
We have our bet. It's set
So I have to give you a box if you win?
of AOA.
French
Oh.
AOA at that.
French AOA.
Of Fab.
Tell you what, all I really want is one Martian Generosity deck. Doesn't even have to be a good one.
You got it.
All right, perfect. Actually, it has to
If
be a
you
decent
win,
one.
it'll be over 70.
All right, perfect. That's all I ask for. So the bet is set. It's stamped. It's in stone. I look forward to
I
playing
feel like I'm
Martian
on losing. I'm getting a $10 box of French AOA.
Uh-huh. I'm looking forward to playing some Martian Generosity soon. You can find me in our Discord. Where can they find our Discord, Mr. Ewok?
So
On
we're
Discord.
Yeah, the Discord.
Yeah. Well, or
there's another Discord than ours?
Or the show notes down below, if you would like to join our Discord and you're not in it. Down in the show notes down below, you can join us on Discord. When do we run tournaments, Sheep?
I run them on Tuesdays and Sundays at 8 p.m. CST, and our good buddy Lokakar runs them on Wednesdays starting at 7 p.m. CST.
And then you can find us over at Twitter at Archons Corner, over on Facebook at Archons Corner, YouTube, Archons, everything's Archons Corner. Just search Archons Corner. You'll find us. Use the Google machine.
And I do believe we have a Patreon. We don't really push that too much, but
we have a Patreon. You can go support us over there. Everything, as always, is ad-free over on the Patreon. So if you don't like those pesky ads that pop into your listening device, you can go over to the Patreon. Always ad-free. We have a store where we sell clothes and stuff too. If you want to, like, maybe buy a shirt.
You didn't tell them about our new secret Patreon reward levels.
What are you talking about? Well, they're a secret for a reason.
If you don't have the reward yet, just keep
money,
jacking up how much
you
give
can
us.
make the decisions around here.
It'll only cost you $100, and then you can make all the decisions for Archon's Corner.
Well, you can give us the topics. It's $500, and then you can write Rookie's script.
That's right. Mm-hmm. 500 bones, and that you can PayPal that directly to me.
AOA is the best set. AOA is the best set.
That's all I have to say for an entire episode.
Yep, got to get the background.
Yeah.
Instead of I am Groot, you just have to say AOA is the best set the entire time.
And for $500, I will do that. I think I've set that high enough out of reach to where I'll never have to hear that ever again.
Guys, let's do it.
I think Keyforge community that we need to group together in order to just make this happen. I really do.
Who's really winning at that point?
Us, all of us.
Really?
Yes.
Yes, because then you also have enough money to pay for our server fees for another couple of months.
Yeah, well, a couple months. So that's 5 months worth.
All right, the only other piece that I wanted to go ahead is, since I didn't hear any feedback there, please send us your Keyforge stories via Discord, DM, email, so that we can go ahead and read your Keyforge stories during our cocktails show in March for our anniversary. So bring those guys out. Make sure that we hear good, bad, indifference, Vault Tour in live, in real person, online. We want to hear all about them, have some fun reading them. Might even be able to give you some something fun. Maybe it's just, a shout out. Maybe it's something extra, but send those stories to us. We'll have some fun with it.
Absolutely. And for the third or fourth time, I am now saying this. Yes, I am aware of the problem with Spreaker not sending the episodes to the other podcasting platforms on a basis. There is nothing I can do. Like, literally, that is a Spreaker thing. I know it's at the end here, and probably most people don't make it this far. But that is a Spreaker thing. I have no control over it. I'm probably going to just start putting these out on Wednesdays. That way, it just, the next day, everything catches. Because it seems like Flesh and Blood, I'm posting on Sundays now. I don't know. We really don't have a thing, but I will, I'm going to start posting these on Wednesdays so that it pops into everybody's feed on Thursdays. Because I know not everyone uses Spreaker. However, that is our home channel. That is where everything goes up to. Yeah. How do you even listen to podcasts? Sheep. What do you use?
RSS feed?
Just straight up RSS feeds?
Yeah, I'm using Google Podcasts for me.
Like a bare metal podcast listener.
Yeah, I mean that's totally metal.
Dude, I've been podcasting since before there was podcasting.
I mean, hey, you win.
I'm old.
What's that? Just like yelling across the field?
Hey you!
Oh man.
Yeah, we used to record it on tape and mail it to each other.
What's a tape? Sorry, I had to say that because most of our active listening audience has no idea what a tape looks like.
8-track.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Now you're dating yourself. But that's going to do it for us this week. Joker, thank you so much for coming on and talking about your Vault Keeper event. We got to go because Sheep has to go to bed. I don't make the rules. I just follow them. We'll see y'all next time.
Thanks, Joker.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Nobody in the world is safe when we melt down the wax in your record crate. X-Men, about to blast off worldwide. X-Men, about to blast off worldwide. You do it like this. About to blast off worldwide. Put it out for the world to see. LP and X-Men to the 10th degree. Nobody in the world is safe when we melt down the wax in your record.